flying Jordu in from Los Angeles to sculpt a giant demon head for the Darkness Project. Okay, Jordu, you ready for this?
I might be. What do we got?
I have your minions to help you.
How you doing, guys? What's going on?
The Darkness is a haunted attraction in St. Louis, Missouri, and they are celebrating their 20-year anniversary this year.
Having these interns to help me out on this gigantic sculpture is definitely going to help me meet Ed's insanely unrealistic deadlines.
You have the skills. You just don't have the time.
Well,
That's where they come in.
Wow.
They're going to get you ready to rock and roll here in no time.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty complicated.
This is the first time we have ever taken a logo for a haunted house and turned it into an animatronic. It's a big demon horn thing, but it's not just horns. I mean, they're curly Q horns. Well, that's a mold-making, sculpting nightmare.
How are we breaking down these horns?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. We cut them about here, and then we sculpt these two things separate.
Every time Ed brings me in, I know that there's going to be something enormous and seemingly insurmountable in terms of its scale. And of course, this is no exception. This thing is insanely huge.
So there's one last thing. This head.
Here it comes.
No, it's not that bad. We are repurposing the demon body that you did a year or two ago that's got...
Repurposing the body?
Yes, repurposing the body. Because it'll save time, money, and heartache. Now, it is a skull, but like in here, you could put some of that, like lineage and stuff there. So
Lineage.
Lineage.
Did you make that up?
No, I did not make that up. That's actually in the encyclopedia.
I'll go over there and look at it from time to time. And
Yeah,
make sure it's coming
just in certain areas. Mostly it's a skull, just so they don't look like, why'd they put that head on that body?
To turn the Darkness logo into an 11-foot tall animatronic, first I'm going to sculpt the skull-like head as well as half of the horns on the sides. The other half of the horns, which are curly cues, I'll sculpt separately to be put on later. I have to make sure the overall look and size is just right so the head matches seamlessly with the existing demon body that it's going to fit into.
Now listen, make him really scary. See how scary that is?
Ed, all right now.
Yeah.
Look over there. There's something bad going on over there. You better go fix it.
Okay.
All right. So let's just start getting clay on this, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna go outline this so we can get an accurate head.
Okay. And I put it over the drawing of the design, and I draw in magic marker over that, and now I can stand back from the sculpture and line it up with the outline, and that is how I make sure it's as on model as it can be.
What we want to do is narrow it out here along these sides here. It's a little fat there.
So like right
Take
in
that
here?
down. Not that deep, but no, much more than just your fingers. I think you need to hack off gigantic amounts on the side. There we go. That's about right.
Jordu is a character, but he's an awesome sculptor. Pretty fortunate to be able to work with him, and he's really teaching me a lot.
Plenty built up here. Now we need to arc it. Watch what I'm doing before you start doing anything. It needs to arc up in a real nice, graceful arc.
So I'm going to start this huge demon sculpture. Of course, it's already been bulked out.
We're just about high enough there.
I need to see how Jordu's coming along with the demon head. And I'm starting to worry if the head is big enough to fit the existing body we're using. Jordu.
Hey.
Something's been troubling me a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is going on that giant demon body, and it seems a little small. Does it hit you that way at all?
It seems awful large to me.
Ed's coming through. He takes a look at it, and he says, "Oh, Jordu, it's too small."
Let's see. That's about 20 inches. Come with me. So this is the body that the head's going to go on, and it just seems small to me now.
Right, I always felt this head was too big for this body.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now this head is 25, and that one's 20. How much too big do you think this one is? Probably 5 inches, right?
How high is it? How tall?
Looks like 36. What is yours?
Let's take a look.
All right. Excuse me? Wow, that's big.
Uh-huh. And it's going to get a lot bigger once the horns are on.
This thing is going to be 3 times the size practically when we add those horns. It's all horn, that thing.
Let's use this on that. Does that sound good?
If we absolutely have to.
We have to. Okay.
How tall was the other one?
I think it was about 38, 39.
Uh-huh. And you know it's going to be almost 3 times the width of what you're seeing there because of the horns. The horns are going to add so much to it.
Yeah, I think that may save us.
Save us! It's even bigger than this word!
It's strange with Ed. It's as if there's some kind of brain block with him sometimes where he just doesn't seem to understand how something's going to work. And you can explain it to him, you can do diagrams, you can work it out, and he will be insistent it's just not going to work. So you have to just show him.
Ed, why don't we measure it to see how wide it'll be with the horns?
Okay, good.
Bring your tape measure.
All right, I got it. Okay, this finger, my finger here will be the sides of the horn.
Further. About there. So it'll be about roughly 11 more inches from the side. So adding 11 inches to both sides.
You know what? It's too big.
So Jordu is working on the giant demon head for the darkness, and I'm a little concerned about its size.
So adding 11 inches to both sides.
You know what? It's too big. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see your face explode, but it didn't, so I'm through. That's gonna be awesome. It'll work. Great. Sorry for that interruption.
Now that we've got that settled, Jordu left for the night, and Mike and I started major brain surgery on the demon head, welding horns onto its sides. We'll see what he thinks of it in the morning.
Jordu, Mike and I worked late in the night to get those horns on while you were out having dinner.
Well, okay, right away. They're a little asymmetrical. You know that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got big horns and little metal, so you can move that clay. I mean, the armature could be down low on one and high on the other. It's okay, Jordu. It's going to be okay.
All right. Let's just
He's just a little horny.
let's just move you aside here and take a look at what we got. It'll work quite well, in fact.
Of course it will.
Yeah, great job.
I get that a lot.
All right, why don't you just calm down about your life? Okay, yeah, these are welded on there.
Oh yeah, they're welded. Yeah, I wouldn't swing on them.
They're
because
welded
it was
really
very
nice
difficult.
and strong, right?
I wouldn't hang on them.
I wasn't intending to.
Okay, Jordu, you got everything you need? You got your clay, you got your minion, you got your assignment. Can I go away?
You can always go away.
Yeah, well, I'll do
That's
it then.
always a welcome question. May I go away? Yes, you may.
All right, okay.
Yes, you
I'm
may,
gone.
sir.
Toodaloo.
Have some clay.
Thank you.
Do you see the legs that this is supported on?
Yeah, it's kind of
Does that make you feel the emotion of nervousness?
a little bit. A little
Me
less
too.
than you, because it's going to go that way.
What's that?
It's going to go that way, so I'm a little less nervous.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Mike!
Now what's your whiny issue?
My whiny issue is this. Do you see the rickety legs that this 800-pound sculpture is standing on?
Yeah?
Yeah, this makes me a little nervous. What would you think about welding a square?
No, it's not gonna happen.
Why?
Because the minute I put heat down there, as much weight's on there,
I mean, do you think it's strong enough to hold this?
well, the legs already starting
It's making you a little nervous too, doesn't it? Why don't we transfer it to a bigger table? Or a stronger
pain
table?
in the ass.
I'm sorry.
Got stuff to do. There we gotta go. Cater to Jordu again.
Okay, so what's the problem here?
This table's scary.
Oh, no, they were already bent.
I don't care.
I don't care. We'll fix it for you. So you can concentrate on your sculpture, not on terror.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
But he is going to just transfer this to a bigger, stronger table.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at these little drawings on paper and say, okay, well, so let's sculpt it here, you don't think about these things.
All right. Let's walk.
Now that's a table.
Yeah, this ain't gonna break.
The plan is we're going to lift the demon head up with the forklift, Then we'll swap the tables out from underneath it before setting the demon head back down on the new table. Simple, right? All right, now, Mike. Try lifting up. Let's see if we got it yet. All right, hold it right there. Stop. Take the table all the way to the rails. All right, now, Mike, set it down. Okay? We're ready for you. This is small. This is nothing compared to some of the stuff we've done. Is that plywood gonna hold this thing?
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's bad.
As soon as we put the weight of the demon head on the table, we could hear and the table started to buckle. Not good.
Pick it back up, pick it back up, pick it back up. Keep coming back. Okay, all right, whoa.
So our table, it's starting to crack here from the weight. Plywood's generally, 3/4 inch plywood's generally very strong. The problem is we're putting, 1,000 pounds on a very small area. It turns out that even the big table wasn't enough to safely hold the massive demon head. So we decided to reinforce it with a piece of steel. That is the perfect steel plate. Let me help you with that. Teamwork. That doesn't do it. Nothing will. Okay, drop her down, Mike. We're good. Okay, let's see how that works. Look at that. You know, we all feel better now. It was just fine. Nothing to worry about. I wasn't scared at all.
We need to make some armatures for the end of these horns. And that armature is gonna go like this. So it's kind of a weird, snaky looking thing.
That snaky looking thing. How long? What do you want?
All right, if I was to make you a little maquette of the shape I need, that's the shape that I need.
Why don't you just come back and I'll put it in the bender and we'll just bend what you want and then I'll weld it on a plate.
I'm having Mike actually make some armature, and I'm just going to sculpt the bottom of the horns, and then we're just going to hold it up and make sure it matches as close as possible. Bend it right there, yeah. Stop.
Come further down, further. Stop. Now it needs to curve at a compound angle. What am I doing? Further, much further. Yeah, bend it sharply. More, just a hair more. Stop, and then really a lot. All right, whoa.
You said a lot.
Turn it this way. It's got to go the other way, this way. A little more. That'll do her.
Now that we've got the armature tips made, I've asked Mike to attach them to a separate sculpting board so I can get started.
Here you go.
All right, right there.
Ooh, Mike's not gonna like this.
All that's left for Jordu is to sculpt the demon's curly Q horn ends now that he's got the armatures Mike made for him.
Ooh, Mike's not gonna like this. I think they're a little long.
What can I say? Nobody's perfect.
Mike! Michael!
Now what?
I am willing to take complete and total blame for this particular miscalculation. These are too long. They're too long. What I need to do is have this straightened back out and then bend this bend to happen here. I'm really sorry.
Try that.
Yeah, that's real good.
Mike really saved me on this one.
Thanks, Mike.
And now that Jordu is wrapping things up, I can finally get a good look and see how it'll turn out.
Wow. You know, this thing is all about the horns. Because before the horns,
Oh, yeah.
Those horns are fully half the width of that thing, and maybe more.
And these are the tips of the horns, or the fronts of them. And these should probably get molded pretty quick because they're drying out. The water clay's drying out.
yeah. Boy, it looked great, though. That's complicated.
The sculpture's done, and it really does look great.
Well done. You're the man.
Jordu is ready to head home to Los Angeles. And now it's my turn to work on the demon and get it ready for Mondo to mold.
Time to damn the demon.
With the size and shape of this demon head, we're going to make a two-piece mold from it. To get it ready for plaster, I need to dam it, which is basically creating a divider between the front and back halves of the head using thin metal shims.
This looks good. It's off to Mondo. Here we go.
Okay, watch one side.
Well, then you have to take this giant thing down the long ramp to the basement.
Off to Mondo Land.
Mondo Land is this fantastic place made of 3 magical kingdoms. Plasterland is where clay sculptures go to get covered in plaster. Latex Land is where plaster molds get sprayed with a thin layer of latex that acts as the creature's skin. And Foam Land is where Mondo's happy little minions dance around with buckets of foam, pouring them into the mold that will become the flesh of the creatures. It's the foamiest place on Earth. And when you're done, you've got a real-life demon on your hands. Jordu and Mondo have done their parts. Now it's up to me to put the finishing touches on this mighty demon by painting him. Then it'll be ready to attach to the demon body in St. Louis.
Hey, Larry. Jim.
Hey, Marcia.
Good to see you guys.
How's it going?
Good.
We're at the Darkness in St. Louis, Missouri to install the demon.
The people who will be coming through the haunted house is the entire haunted house industry. I'm Larry Kirshner, president of Halloween Productions, one of the owners of the Darkness Haunted House here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're talking about every one of your customers you've ever had, okay? Every haunt from here to Singapore will be here, and they're gonna check this monster out, so you have a lot of pressure to make sure this thing looks awesome.
So we've only got a few hours before the haunted house is open for business, and our first task is to attach the head to the demon body. That also means running all of the control cables down through the demon and out the other end.
Okay, Ed, if you'll get down there on your knees and get your hand up his butt. Oh, no, I'm not a proctologist.
Ed'd have to stick his hand up his butt, see if he can get a hold of him.
I don't feel it, Mike. Can you make it come a little further? I'm shoving it down there.
I don't know how I get stuck with these jobs.
Look at that.
Pull them.
I could be a doctor. Look at that.
And there's nothing quite like pulling black intestines out of a giant demon to his rear.
I've got intestinal fortitude.
So we hooked it all up and everything's going pretty smoothly, but we discovered that we had more things we had to do than channels to do it on the controllers. We only have 7 channels to make this demon come to life. Each movement requires a channel. The fog machine needs a channel, and the eyes lighting up need a channel. That's way more channels than we have.
7 valves and fog machine, you're plumb full.
Our brilliant solution was to add lights to one of the movements so that the lights would come on when his head turned.
What about every time his mouth opens, yellow comes on, and every time I hit the fogger, red comes on? You give me the look like, are you kidding me? Give me the look like you're a genius. I don't get that look. All right, I think we're ready to move him into position. Okay, we are coming forward, is that correct?
Yep.
Coming forward. We've made it to St. Louis with our demon head, but when we began to install it at the Darkness, we discovered there's a catch. Larry, I think our demon's a little too big for your opening. It turns out that our giant demon is a bit too giant for its new home. Larry's gonna have to knock down part of the set to make way for our creation before the haunted house opens in just a few hours.
Yeah, we'll knock it out.
Okay.
And we have some temporary hard coats, so whatever we cut, we can just re-hard coat it real quick.
Okay, good. You guys cut the foam. I'll program it. We'll be ready to go.
All right.
All righty.
When the monster went in, we literally said, wow, we're gonna have to build a scene tonight. Luckily, we just happen to have 12 boxes of skeletons, so we're gonna paint them and make them look disgusting and make it look like that guy's eating the customers.
With the demon ready to go and Larry and Jim finishing up decorating the scene, we're going outside to check out who the demon's first victims will be. We were thrilled to see a long line already forming.
Wow.
Look at all these guys.
It's like a line to a party in hell.
Oh, yeah. Pretty cool.
You guys ready for this?
There's this gigantic line of people. I mean, keep in mind, this is nowhere near Halloween.
All the way from Canada.
All the way from Canada, here we are.
Wow. Are you ready for this?
With distortions, I'm ready.
Now, you know, we made a big monster in there.
A
can't wait
big
to see
monster.
it.
I'm anxious to see what they think of it. The doors are open, and it's time to see how our demon does.
Have fun!
When we got there to see the final reveal, it looked great. It's a powerful piece. The clients are happy, and Marsha's happy, and so I'm happy. Everybody's happy. The world is a wonderful place, and there's butterflies and hearts everywhere. And one giant demon.
It was pretty awesome stuff.
I would say you peed my pants.
Yeah, Peter, man.
That's the big main attraction, looking up, see that thing just staring at you.